Hello guys, and welcome to part 3 of my Motovlog series. Today I'm going to be putting some nice shiny new bits on my nice shiny new bike. So let's get on with it. Right then, it's still tipping down with rain outside. It's been raining now for well over a week, and it's really getting me down. The old shed that I've got here leaks in various places, but even though it's raining, I still want to get some of this kit on my bike. So I'm going to first install these cotton reels so I can put the bike up on the paddock stand and get the rest of the stuff put on there. Alright, let's have a look where these go. Okay, so the cotton reel's going to go into that hole there, so let's just give that a clean. Make sure it's dust and oil free, etc. And then on the thread I'm going to use a little bit of thread lock just on the end of the thread there to make sure it doesn't vibrate itself loose. So before I do that, I've never done this before, so I just want to make absolutely sure that these are going to fit in that thread. And yes, they look fine. So let's get our thread lock. You only need a drop of this stuff on there, it's just to make sure it doesn't vibrate free, that's all. So let's get some on here. Boom. That's all you need. Just a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna pop it on there and tighten away. Right. Make sure the logos all line up nice and straight. Is about there. And then I'm going to hand tighten it, that's all. There we go, there's one done. That's not coming off, but just double check. Perfect. The other side is exactly the same, so I'm going to go ahead and do that one. Okay, so my paddock stand's just arrived. This is an Oxford brand again. The shop local to me does a lot of Oxford brands, which is fine. This looks like a really good stand. I've seen some good reviews on it. So let's open it up and see what's in there. There you go. Let's get this thing together. Right then, so in this box we get the big chunky metal pieces with the nice big wheels on. Chunky wheels. Feels nice and sturdy. It's all branded up. Well packaged. Just took me ages to get the packaging off, which is a good thing. You get your adjusters there. That's brilliant. You get a couple of those. You get your workshop manual on how to put it all together. And then in the box you get these clean grips. Not sure what they are. Presume you put them over your handlebar grips when you... I don't know, not quite sure what them are or why they're in there, but they're in there. And then you get these two. So if you haven't got the bobbins, the cotton reel things that I've just put on, which are going to hook into that, then you can use these, which should, you know, go under your back swing arm or whatever that. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I'm not an expert in this stuff, but you do get both fittings in the premium package, so it's probably well worth getting the premium one. And I'm going to be using these ones, of course, because they're going to hook onto my little cotton reels that I've just put on. You get these as well, little curvy brackets. Okay, so let's put this thing together. Pop that in there somehow. Ooh, that fits. Oh. That was a nice tight fit. Okay, then we want our little curly bracket things. I suppose it's going on there, like that. That. This one on the other side. And put that on. Okay, let's get a spanner. Get this nice and tight. There we go, and the same on the other side. Just as cotton goes in there. Tighten up a little bit. That goes in there. And let's go and adjust it to the bike. Like that. And we have some grips. Marvellous. So I'm trying to figure out which way up these go. So these are the clear tank pads, and following the contours of the tank here and the lines on the tank, I presume they're going to go somewhere about there. Unfortunately, there's no instructions to tell you how close to the edge you should get or how far away you should get. So I think I'm just going to have to eyeball it and see how it goes, really. So I'm going to give the tank a nice clean and a quick rub, and then I'm going to use this included, what's it called? Like an alcohol wipe that you get within the kit, to get all the contaminants off the tank and all the polish that's already on there. Right, so the instructions say to heat the tank up a little bit to activate the glue and to make sure of a good bond, and also to hair dryer the pad itself to make it nice and tacky. So I've just got to jump in here, I think, guys. I still can't figure out the right place to put it, but yeah, we'll try it, see what happens. Right, so there you go, guys. I've put one side on, so I'll do the other one in a minute. Let me just get this out. Ooh, wrong way. That's better. Now, I've got to be totally honest with you. I'm not sure I like these. These are supposed to be clear, and clear to me is, well, glass is clear. You can see straight through it. The one thing that makes this bike really nice, the colour scheme on it, is the glossy clear, you know, the clear glossed tank. It's really glossy, jet black. It shines lovely. But now I've put this tank protector on, which is supposed to be clear. It's obviously got the grip stuff on the front, which makes it more frosted. So it looks grey, to be honest, and I mean, it'll protect the tank, I'm sure it will, but they'll probably be coming off at some point. I'm not sure if I'm going to get on with them, but they might look different in the sun and when the glue's set, and that we'll see. Another thing, I mean, there's a little hole in these tank protectors. Let's show you that. And that hole's there specifically to put the R&G logo on it. And unfortunately, because I've got a black bike, you can't see the logo. Now, I'm all about branding. I'm all for branding. There's nothing wrong in that. But right there where my knee's going to go is where they've decided to put a hole in the protector, just so they can stick a logo in there. Now, my bike's black, so you can't see the logo anyway. I've put it in there just to cover the hole, but you can't see it. But in my eyes, that should be totally flush. There shouldn't be any holes in that whatsoever. It needs to do its job, and its job is to protect the tank from, you know, the scuffing on my knees. So I'm really disappointed with that as well. It's a bit of a shame, really. I'm going to put them on anyway because they will protect the tank for a little bit, but as soon as I'm able, I'm probably going to get some new ones. Okay, but that's the tank protectors. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to fit to the bike today is my Alpha XA14 disc lock. This comes with an audible alarm if it's moved or shook, if the bike's moved. You can charge it via USB, which is great. It's got the reminder cord there that you put on your handlebars so you don't go driving off with this already fitted. I think there's a couple of keys in there, but it also includes the USB cable that you use to charge it. This is the 14mm pin one, so I'm hoping this is going to fit. I think it will, because there's some quite larger holes on the front disc there. So let's go and give this a go. Okay guys, so installing this disc lock is quite simple. You find the big holes in your disc there. It won't go through the little holes, so you find these big holes and you pick one and you simply slide it up. You gently slide it up your brake disc until you get into the hole, push the key down and turn it to lock it, and then you get your little chain and attach that to your handlebars to remind you that you've obviously got it on there, because if you forget it's on there and you drive off, oh, you're in all kinds of trouble. So that's the disc lock, nice and simple. It's alarmed. The way to unalarm it obviously is just you unlock it and you take the lock off and pop it in your backpack. Job done. So while I'm here, I might as well show you what else I've done. I've also, just get over here, I've also put the battery tender on. Which is there. So luckily for me, the shop where I bought the bike from, so Blade Honda, they had already installed the plug that I need in the bike. So they've already attached the black end here to the battery, it goes all the way up to the battery, and made it nice and neat. It looks like a factory fit item. And then I just plugged the battery tender straight in there. Keep the battery tender away from the bike. And then the battery tender, if that's readable. But the battery tender looks after the battery through the winter, or whenever I've got power on in the shed. I think it's fantastic, and it's really good of Blade Honda to put that attachment on for me, so I didn't have to take my tank off. Obviously you can see the Paddock stand and the cotton reels that I've put on there. The tank pads are there, which I've got to admit they're growing on me a little bit. There's the tank pads. I've also got the alarm down there. And another thing is my chunky chain that I said I'd got. Let's have a look at that. So what I do with the chain is I put it through. I put the chain through the swing arm here and out the other side, out through the wheel, and then I clamp that around it and then lock it up with the Oxford lock on the end, and then I put the cover on the bike and all should be good. Well, I think that's enough for this video, guys. The rain's just coming down and down and down. Shed is leaking all over the place. I've got to get a new shed. So I've still got to put my ground anchor in so I can wrap a chain around something, and I've also got to put the R&G crash protections on, you know, the little things that poke out the side of the bike. I'll probably do them in the same video. So I think that's it for this video. I think I've bored you enough. It's nearly Christmas, so if I can't get another video up before Christmas, you guys have a fantastic time, and I'll see you very, very soon. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.